So how to do the 16th one? 16th one is f of x plus g of x means it is x square plus 2x plus 1. I hope it's clear. F of x minus g of x is x square minus 2x minus 1. F of x into g of x is x square into 2x plus 1. F of x divided by g of x is x square divided by 2x plus 1. And what can the value of x naught be equal to? For the last one alone, x should not be equal to minus half. Why?
Because then
Denominator will be 0.
2x plus 1 will be 0. It will not be a rational number.
It will not be a rational fraction. Rational function. So the denominator will become 0. So you're not supposed to have this, right? Similarly, what about example 17? F of x is equal to root x and g of x is equal to x. Be two functions defined over the set of non-negative numbers. Non-negative real numbers means they are trying to say that the set contains all real positive numbers, right? So f of x is root x and g of x is x. So what is f of x plus g of x? Correct? What is f of x minus g of x?
Root of x minus.
Right. What is f of x into g of x? It is root x into x, that will be x power 3 by 2. What is f of x divided by g of x? It will be root x divided by x. And it will be x power minus half. Okay. It will be x power minus half and the value of x cannot be equal to 0. Why x cannot be 0 equal to 0 is because you can cancel the root x and x only if the value of x is not equal to 0. Or else what would have happened? The value of x was 0. What will f of x by g of x be? It will be 0 by 0. Right? Had x been 0, root 0 by 0 would have been the case. Root 0 and 0 means you cannot cancel them. It is not a form which is defined. So x value cannot be equal to 0. Right? I hope these two things are clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's try to do some exercise problems. So the first question. Which of the following relations or functions give reason if it is a function, determine its domain and range? So the first one, is it a function?
Yes, sir.
Reason?
Each domain has only one image, sir.
You can be more specific. Each input is different. That's what you need to say. Right? Each input is different. So you have to look at the first element. No two ordered pair have the same first element. Hence, it is going to be a function. So answer is yes. And what will be the domain?
2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17.
The set of 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, and 17. Second one, is it a function?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we need to write the domain and range also. No? So what is the range?
1.
1.
Okay. See, though it is not there in your syllabus, I'm just telling you, this type of a function where all the inputs or more than one input is leading to the same output. If you observe, 2 is also related to 1, 5 is also related to 1. So minimum 2 elements of the input are related to only one element. So this type of a function is called as many to one function. Just for your knowledge, okay, it is called as a many to one function. You need not worry about what it is. Means what I'm trying to say is many inputs have the same output. That is the main. Okay. Next, is the next one a function or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So domain is what?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Range?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right. So this relation is a function list. Okay. Third one.
No, sir.
No, because one is related to 3 and one is related to 5. Same input has different outputs. It's not a function. Okay. I will come to this domain concept at the end. So as of now, let's hold it. Now do the third one. So there is a function f which is defined by f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. Write down the value of f of 0. So f of x is given as 2x minus 5. What is f of 0?
-5.
Minus 5.
2 into 0 minus 5, it will be minus 5. Similarly, what is f of 7?
9.
Similarly, what is f of minus 3?
9
plus 11.
Minus 11. Right? So it is again a simple question. So can I rub the right hand side? Now how to do the fourth one? There is a function t which maps to temperature in degree Celsius into temperature in degree Fahrenheit. It is given as t as a function of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. So they're asking what is t of 0? Means what are you supposed to do? Wherever,
C is there, you have to substitute.
so t of 0 means 0 plus 32. That's it. 32. So similarly, what is t of 28? 9 into 28 divided by 5 plus 32. So this part and all I'm leaving it to you. Okay. I'll do the last one alone. They're asking what is the value of c when t of c is equal to 212. So t of c is given as 9c by 5 plus 32. T of c is given as 212. So 2 is equal to 95 plus 2. What will you get? So I will write it here. T of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. But T of c is given as 212. So 212 is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. So 9c by 5 is equal to 212 minus 32 is 180. So this will cancel 20 times, which implies c is
100.
equal to, means 212 degree Fahrenheit is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. That is the meaning of it. Okay. So I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now let's discuss about the main context of functions, which is nothing but the domain and the range. Okay. So what do you mean by domain?
Set of input values.
Set of input values. So write it down. So I'm repeating it again. Write it down. Write down the definition for domain. The set of all input values. The set of all input values, comma, for which all the output values are finite. So I'm repeating it again. Domain means the set of all input values for which the output values are finite. Okay. So observe this. So second question is, they're asking find the domain and range of the functions f of x is equal to what? minus of mod x. And f of x is also equal to root of 9 minus x square. Root of 9 minus x square, Yeah. So let's do the first problem. So f of x is equal to minus x. Sorry, minus of mod x. Now what will be the domain of this? See, when you have a question, especially the algebraic expressions, okay, the questions will be of two types. The question might have only a numerator, or the question might have a denominator, also. Okay, if the question generally has a numerator alone, in most of the cases, the domain will be real numbers. Because what did I say domain is? Domain is all input values that you can give so that the output does not come as infinite. If mod x has to become infinity, then what is the input value I need to give?
Unreal number, imaginary number.
I should give an infinity, right? See, it's very simple. Listen, if I give you a function like f of x is equal to 1 by x, I ask you what is the domain. Okay, I'm considering a very simple example. I ask you f of x is equal to 1 by x, tell me what is the domain. So generally for all rational functions, what are rational functions? A polynomial function divided by another polynomial function. If you look at this, the polynomial function, the numerator is a constant, and the polynomial function, the denominator is a x. So for all rational functions, the domain will be all real numbers, except for the place where the denominator is equal to 0. Okay. So what will be the domain for this? It will be all real numbers, except when will the denominator in this case become 0? For what value of x will it become 0? So the meaning of this is f of x is equal to 1 by x will have a domain of all real numbers except 0. That is the meaning of it. I'm able to find this because I have a denominator. If at all there is no denominator existing, then the domain will be real numbers only. Are you guys able to understand? So if you observe
Yes,
this, f of x is equal to minus mod x means it doesn't have any denominator. So the domain is going to be real number. Okay. Now, for explaining the range, I would like to explain through the graph. Okay. So yesterday I explained you the graph for mod x. So how was the graph for mod x?
V shape, sir.
So it is a V-shaped graph which was confined to which quadrant?
First and second quadrant.
First and second quadrant. Okay. What do you think will be the graph for f of x is equal to minus mod x? F of x is equal to minus mod x, the graph will still be, but in the third and the fourth quadrant. Why? Because mod x will always give you what value?
Positive value.
Positive value. When a positive value is multiplied with negative value, what will happen?
Negative value comes
We'll get negative value. Where all y is negative.
in third and fourth quadrant.
That is why the graph will be like this. Now looking at the graph, can you tell me what will be the range? So range means what? Range is all the values of y which you get when you substitute all the values from the domain. All the output values obtained when you give all the input values from the domain is what is called as range. So looking at the graph, tell me this graph is getting extended from where to where? Where is it starting? What is the least value of y?
Origin.
So the least value of y it has is 0. And what is the maximum value it has in the downward direction?
Minus
As
infinity.
infinity.
Minus infinity. So what will be the range?
Close bracket 0 to open bracket minus infinity.
That's it. Did you guys understand this?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you get. Okay. Next. So what is the next question? F of x is equal to root of 9 minus x squared. Can someone tell me how to proceed this problem?
We use a square minus b square.
You can use a square minus b square, but remember, something under a square root, if it has to be real, something under a square root has to be real, what should that value of inside that square root is supposed to be?
It's supposed to be positive.
It is supposed to be positive, and what is the least value it can take?
0.
It can take 0. So how I'm going to do is, for the above function to be defined, can I write 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0?
Yes, sir.
So had the question been without a square root, had they given it 9 minus x square and they ask you the domain, what will you say? So what did I say domain is? Domain means any value of x that you substitute so that the output is finite. So had it been a question without a square root, if it was just 9 minus x square,
Any real number.
it will be any real number. I told you, no, in the previous problem. Whereas here, what is happening? There is a restriction coming. Why is the restriction coming? It is because of the square root. So 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Are you guys able to
Your
understand?
voice is breaking, sir.
Is it clear? See, 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. I hope this point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I can write it as 3 minus x into 3 plus x is greater than or equal to 0. Can I write it like this?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to teach you a method. See, I can either write it like this. I'm going to teach you a method like this. If I talk about 3, is 3 greater than 0 or less than 0?
Greater than 0.
3 is greater than 0. Multiplying with minus on both the sides, what will happen? Minus 3 and 0, what will be the relation?
Will be less than.
So if I multiply with a negative sign on both the sides, what is happening to the inequality?
It changes.
It is getting reversed, right? So 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Can I take out the minus sign and write it as x square minus 9 is greater than or equal to 0? I didn't multiply with minus, try to understand. I took out minus sign from this.
Yes, sir.
So multiplying with minus on both sides, what do I get?
X square minus 9 is less than or equal to 0.
Very good. X square minus 9 will be less than or equal to 0. So I can write it as x minus 3 into x plus 3 is less than or equal to 0. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now see, observe what I'm going to do is, I will take the checkpoints. Checkpoints means, see, this is a factor. X minus 3 is a factor. X plus 3 is a factor. Okay. So when will x minus 3 become 0? At x equal to
3.
3. So this is the real number. On the real number, I'm taking the point 3. When will x plus 3 become equal to 0?
X is equal to minus 3.
Minus
So minus 3. Now I need to observe from the real number system, from minus infinity to plus infinity, what are all the values of x I can substitute in this particular expression so that it is always less than or at the max equal to 0. So what I'm trying to say is the values of x should be chosen in such a way that when you multiply x minus 3 and x plus 3, the final output should come out as a negative value. Correct? So if I substitute a value which is less than minus 3, tell me a value which is less than minus 3. I have minus 4. So if I substitute a value which is less than minus 3, what do I get? See, for example, if I substitute minus 4, I get minus 4 minus 3 into minus 4 plus 3. So this is negative and this is negative. What am I getting? Am I getting a negative value or a positive value?
Positive.
Positive.
I'm getting a positive value. Means all this side is going to be a positive value. From where? From minus infinity till minus 3. If I substitute a value between minus 3 and 3, let me take 0. If I take 0 and substitute it, I get 0 minus 3 into 0 plus 3. Negative into positive. I'm getting a negative value. So between minus 3 to 3, I get a negative value. If I substitute a value of x greater than 3, so 4 minus 3 into 4 plus 3, positive into positive. So it is coming out as a positive value. Positive. So on the whole number line system, what are all the values of x I can choose such that the product is less than 0? Where do I have the negative sign?
Minus 3 to 3.
So what are all the values of x that you can substitute? X belongs to minus 3 to 3. Now you need to choose whether it is closed interval or open interval. Closed or open?
Closed.
It is closed because you have an equal to symbol. Are you guys able to understand this? So x belongs to minus 3 to 3. This is the domain of this function.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Tell me.
Above one that x square minus 9 is less than or equal to 0, we can directly put x square will be less than or equal to 9 and then x is less than or equal to plus or minus 3, no, sir?
You cannot do like that. That's what you're not supposed to do.
Okay, sir.
So for example, if the question is like this, x square minus 9 is greater than or equal to 0, then you put x square is greater than 9, you will put x is greater than or equal to plus or minus 3. What is the meaning of this? Then what values will you take?
Between plus 3 and minus 3.
Here also you got the same thing, no? Plus 3 and minus 3. How can less than or equal to 0 and greater than or equal to 0 give you the same value?
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why don't do like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So just copy it. Now what will be the range? So how did they teach you in school? Guys, just a minute. I didn't observe this. See, always the least value should be on the left hand side. It is minus infinity to 0. Just now I observed. Don't write it as 0 to minus infinity. It doesn't make sense. So when you write a real number line, you should always come from the left to right. Minus infinity to 0 is right.
So, sir, cut marks for that.
It's not about cutting marks. That is, first of all, mathematically wrong. Even if
Okay.
they give you marks, no, that's secondary thing. You're learning wrong maths.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So x belongs to minus 3 to 3 now. Now, what is going to be the range? So range for root of 9 minus x square, right? So for range, what you can do is, I'll teach you a shortcut as of now, but there is actually a method which you will learn next year maybe. If time permits, I'll teach you this year itself. First, let's try to understand with this problem. So range for root of 9 minus x square is, so what is range? Range is the maximum, minimum and the maximum value of whom? Is it y or x?
I
It is y, right? So because remember, when you wrote the ordered pair, the first coordinate always represents the x coordinate and the second coordinate represents the y coordinate. So you will always write the first coordinate as domain. So domain means all x values. Range is all y values. So have this in your mind. So if I say f of x is equal to root of 9 minus x square, it is always understood that f of x is nothing but y. So root of 9 minus x square is nothing but y. Now see, what is the value of x that belongs to? X belongs to minus 3 to 3. So minus 3 and 3 are the extreme values, right? If I substitute minus 3 in this equation, what do I get? If I substitute the left extreme value in the place, what do I get?
9.
9 minus 9 in the place of x1. The place of x, if I substitute minus 3, I'll get 9 minus 9. So y will be 0.
0.
Y will be 0 for x equal to minus 3. Similarly, if I substitute the right extreme value, if I substitute x is equal to 3, then what will be the value of y?
0.
0.
0. Okay. Now, if I substitute any intermediate value, so the best value I can think of is between minus 3 to 3. What is the best value you can think of? So you have
0.
you can think of 0. Minus 3 to 3, if you observe 0. Okay, what happens in the graph sheet is, for minus 3, the value of y is 0. For plus 3, the value of y is 0. At 0, what will happen? When x is equal to 0, what will be the value of y?
3.
3.
So y is 3. Right? So what is the least value of y that you are able to generate?
0.
What is the maximum value you are able to generate?
3.
So what will be the range? So range is always
0 to 3.
0 to 3 closed interval because they both are included. Okay? Are you guys able to understand this point? Right? It is between 0 to t. So what I will do is, now I'll teach you a standard method to solve for range. Okay? As I told you, range is nothing but the values of y, right? So what I will do is, I'm teaching you the standard method to solve for range. Now what I did previously is trial and error method. That will not work for all the problems. So I'm writing the question is equal to y. So for standard method to solve, the first thing is whatever is a function given equated to y. Okay. Write x in terms of y. The third step is find the values of y for which the function is defined. Okay. So root of 9 minus x square is equal to y. So squaring on both the sides, what do I get?
9 minus x square equal to y square.
Okay. Now x square will be equal to 9 minus y square. Right? X is equal to plus or minus root of 9 minus y square. Right? So what are all the values of y that I can substitute here so that the square root is going to be real? See, when the question was y is equal to root of 9 minus x square, what were the values of x that you substituted?
Minus 3,
Minus 3 to 3.
3 and 0.
Minus 3 to 3. So similarly, what are all the values of y I can substitute so that x is real?
Anything less than minus, more than minus 3.
Same procedure, man. Same procedure. It is just observe this equation. No, here it is x, here it is y. That's it. Okay, do one thing. Forget about this. I'll teach you. You need some time to absorb this. Forget about this method. As of now, let's go with trial and error only. This needs some time because you need to be good with graphs also. Forget about it. Don't worry. So this one is clear, right? You understood why we got 0 to 3. For trial and error, you can just try with few values between the values of the domain. So between minus 3, you should check it at the extreme values and some values in between also. Okay. Now I'm just giving you another question. Can you guys try?
Yes, sir.
So if
Yes,
I
yes.
give you a question, f of x is equal to, let us say it is root of so find the domain first. I don't want the range. Find the domain. First you and have a clarity of finding the domain, that's enough. So f of x is equal to root of x square minus 5x plus 6. Can someone tell me how to proceed? So first step is what? Whenever you have a square root of something, the one which is inside the square root
Should be greater than or equal to 0.
equal to 0, provided that square root is in the numerator. Had it been in the denominator,
It should
Greater
be
than
greater
0.
than 0.
it should be only strictly greater than 0. It cannot be equal to 0. Okay. So x square minus 5x plus 6 means x minus 3 into x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. I hope this step is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you draw the number line. So on the number line, minus infinity plus infinity. What are all the checkpoints I need to take? Where do I need to break the function?
Minus 3 and minus
2 and
3.
that's it. You understood why 2 and 3? Because x minus 3 will become 0 at x is equal to 3. X minus 2 will become 0 at x is equal to 3. Now take a value less than 2 and substitute it. If I take 0, then what do I get?
Minus 3 and minus 2.
So 0, negative into negative. So negative into negative is
Positive.
Positive.
positive. So I get positive value on the left of 2. Correct? Between
Yes,
2 to 3, what do I get? You can take between 2 to 3, you can take 2.5. So when I take 2.5, the first value is negative, the second value is positive. It is less than 0. I'm getting negative. So if I substitute a value which is greater than 3, so let's say 4, then I get positive value into positive value which is greater than.
great.
So look at the graph and tell me what are all the values of x that you can substitute so that the function is greater than or equal to 0. So x belongs to, come from the left hand side,
All real values
minus
minus
infinity.
open bracket 2.
Tell me clearly. It is closed bracket. Why? Because you have an equal
Equal
sign.
to sign. Okay, sir.
Okay. So minus 2, minus infinity to 2, union.
Close bracket 3
Close
to
3,
open bracket infinity.
infinity.
Now you guys understood how to find the domain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, range is okay. Range, I don't want you to break your head now because you need some time to absorb this concept. Okay. Let's try to create another question. Root of x square minus 9. And I'll change the question, x square minus 16. So f of x is equal to 1 by root of 25 minus x square. So find the domain for all these functions. Okay, next one is f of x is equal to 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6. So try all these 3 questions. So who wants to try? You can directly tell me, I'll write down. So first question is f of x is equal to root of x square minus 16. So for domain, what should be the condition mathematically?
Minus 16 should be
Minus
greater
16
than or equal to 0.
0.
Okay. So x
X plus 16.
Into x minus.
X
right?
plus 6.
What are all the checkpoints? How many checkpoints you have?
Minus 4 and plus 4.
4, 4.
Right? So when you substitute a value which is less than minus 4, let's say minus 5, what do you get? Negative into negative.
Positive.
When you substitute a value between minus 4 to 4, 0, you can take 0.
Yes,
Negative
sir.
into positive, you get less than 4.
Negative.
So the 4 greater than, anything greater than 4,
Positive, sir.
so what are all the values of x for which it is positive? Minus infinity,
Bracket minus 4.
closed or open? Your voice broke.
Close, sir.
Closed, union,
Close bracket 4
4
to open
to
bracket
open
infinity.
bracket infinity.
that's it. This is how you solve the problems. Okay. Now tell me the answer for the second one.
Done, sir.
What is the answer?
Open bracket minus infinity to open bracket minus 5 union open bracket 5 to open bracket infinity.
No, that's wrong. Check your method. Open bracket is right, but your procedure is wrong. So for this function to be defined, the square root in the denominator, should it be greater than or equal to 0 or strictly greater than 0?
Only greater.
Only greater than.
Only greater than 0. So you would have forgotten this C minus take out x square minus 25 is greater than 0.
Greater than 0.
When
Yes.
you multiply with minus sign, x square minus 25 will be less than 0.
Yes,
Then
sir.
x minus 5 into x plus 5 is less than 0. Number line. Minus infinity plus infinity. Checkpoints. Minus 5 plus 5. Value less than minus 5. Negative.
Negative, sir.
So negative. Negative into negative, sorry, positive. Value between minus 5 to 5, 0. Negative into positive, negative. Value greater than 5.
Positive.
So what is that we need? We need the product to be
Less
negative.
than 0.
So
Okay.
less than 0 is possible between.
Open bracket minus 5 to open bracket 5. Okay, so understood my mistake.
Third one, f of x is equal to 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6. So this is the simplest problem I can say. What function is this?
Polynomial.
It's a rational function, right? Because you have a denominator. If it is a polynomial function, it doesn't have any denominator. If it is a rational function, it has a denominator. So when is a rational function defined? If the rational function has no square root or anything, then the rational function is defined for all real numbers except the places where the denominator becomes 0. So it will be all values of x that belongs to all real numbers except when will the denominator be equal to 0? This can be written as 1 by x minus 2 into x minus 3. So what are all the values of x for which the denominator becomes 0?
2 and 3.
Okay. So x belongs to R except 2 and 3. If you write it as R minus 2 comma 3, this is wrong. What is the difference between this and this?
Brackets.
Bracket. Means R minus, when you put this kind of a bracket, you are only saying values 2 and 3. If you put this kind of a bracket, you are trying to say you cannot substitute any value between 2 and 3. That's not right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So don't do this mistake. This also happens many times. Okay. So as of now, I'm repeating it. Concentrate only on the domain part. Range I will explain. When right time comes, I'll explain it. Okay. So don't worry much about it. Here also, see, look at the fifth problem. They've asked about the range only. As of now, use trial and error method. So the given function is f of x is equal to 2 minus 3x. And x belongs to R and x greater than 0. What are they trying to say? Combine these two and tell me what they are trying to say.
Positive.
So they are trying to say x belongs to R plus. Okay. So what is going to be, what is the least value of x that you can substitute? So what will be the domain? The domain will be open interval 0 to infinity. Am I right? So I hope it is clear till this step, right? See, whenever you have a difference, okay, whenever you have a difference, when you substitute the value of x to be the least, when you substitute the least value of x on the right hand side, the whole value will be maximum. I'm repeating it. If I have 2 plus 3x and 2 minus 3x, okay, what is the range of values of x that I can substitute? What is the least value of x that I can substitute? So look at the least
1.
values. No. It need not be 1.
0.000.
0.00 something. If it had been equal to 0, let us say I'm substituting the least value as 0. If I substitute the least value as 0 in this, then I will get 2. If I substitute the least value of x in this, I get it as 2 only. Okay. What is the maximum value of x that I can substitute? Infinity. So if I substitute infinity in the first one, the output comes as infinity. If I substitute infinity in the second one, it comes as minus infinity. Why minus infinity? Because 2 minus 3 times infinity. 3 times infinity is infinity only. It's a very big, infinity means a very big number. So when you subtract 2 from a very big number, what is it you're going to get? You are going to get that very big number only, minus infinity. Is this clear? So when the value of x in the function is after a negative sign, then what will happen is when you're trying to calculate the range, you can substitute the least value and the maximum value from the domain. So when you substitute the least value in the function with a negative sign, the least value of x will generate the maximum value of y. And the maximum value of x will generate the least value of y. So what is the range?
Minus infinity, 2.
That's it. So since I substituted 0, 0 is not included. When I substitute 0, I get 2. So 2 is also not included. That's why I used to open bracket. Are you guys able to understand this?
So the x value would give, like the input value, that 0 will give you the highest range value.
Provided that x is after the minus sign.
Okay.
Because the question is minus 3x. No, that's why I showed you the difference. Out of 2 and infinity, what is the maximum value?
Infinity.
Infinity. So when it is 2 plus 3x, okay, the least value will give you the least value of y. The maximum value of x will give you the maximum value of y.
Okay, sir.
So to put it in simple terms, understand, I'm writing it and showing, see, observe. So what is the question? F of x is given as 2 minus 3x, correct? So x greater than 0 and all real numbers. So x belongs to 0 to infinity. This is what we are trying to say. So I will write down the difference and show you. It is 2 plus 3x and f of x is equal to 2 minus 3x. So when I substitute x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 0, what is f of 0? It is 2. I told you f of 0 is nothing, f of x is nothing but y. So this is the value of y. At x is equal to infinity, what is f of infinity? That is infinity. This is the value. So what is the ordered pair in the first case? 0, 2. What is the ordered pair in the second case? Infinity, infinity. Did you guys understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Similarly, for the second case, if x is equal to 0, what is f of 0?
2.
2. So this is the value of y. So what will be the ordered pair? 0, 2. So if x is equal to infinity, f of 0 will be 2 minus infinity, it will be minus infinity. What is the ordered pair? 0,
minus infinity.
Minus infinity. So if I write this as a set of ordered pairs, it will be 0, 2 and infinity, infinity. If I give you a relation like this, if I ask you to write the domain, what will you write? Domain is 0, infinity. What is the range?
2, infinity.
Whereas here, what will be the domain?
0, 2.
Range.
2,
range
minus infinity.
I told you, no? You should not write 2, minus infinity.
Minus infinity,
Minus infinity, 2.
So now you understood. So the values will get swapped.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, this is the maximum extent to which I can explain. Beyond this, it will be complicated explanation. It might confuse you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, try to understand. Next. So f of x is equal to x square plus 2, where x is a real number. So they're asking you the range. F of x is equal to x square plus 2. Right? So They're saying x belongs to real number. X is belonging to minus infinity to infinity. Correct? So x is belonging to minus infinity to infinity. Now, what is the least value of a perfect square? What is the least value a perfect square can give you as the output? Least value of a perfect square is 0.
0.
Because if you substitute negative values also, what will happen? Minus 2, if I substitute minus 2 the whole square, it will become
Positive.
positive. So the least value that it can generate is 0. Okay. And the maximum value it can generate is
Infinity.
Infinity.
infinity. So the least value of x square is 0 means what will be the least value of x square plus 2?
2.
So least value of x square plus 2 will be equal to 0 plus 2, that will be 2. What will be the maximum value of x square plus 2? That will be infinity plus 2,
Infinity plus
that will
2.
be infinity. So what is the range?
2, infinity.
So 2 should be included or not? So is 0 a part of the domain or not?
Yes,
Look
sir.
at the domain. 0 is a part of the domain. If it is part of the domain, then the range should be included.
Closed bracket.
Closed bracket 2 to infinity. Did you understand what we did?
Yes, sir.
Yes. F of x is equal to x, where x is a real number. So what will be the range? So f of x is equal to x is an identity function. So for an identity function, what will be the range?
0 to infinity.
No, what is the least value you can substitute? When they say x belongs to real number, x belongs to minus infinity to infinity. When you substitute minus infinity here, what is the value of y you are getting?
Minus infinity.
Minus infinity.
When you substitute plus infinity, what will you get?
Infinity.
So that's the range. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will stop with this. Tomorrow I'll teach you some more problems which are based on domain and range.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will do miscellaneous also in the class. Tomorrow we will finish this chapter. So revise
Okay.
it so that you understand better.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yep.
sir.